Do the Bennett clap. Do the Bennett clap.
A cheer for Bennett College, whose campaign Stand with Bennett has captured headlines in a race to survive. In a special one-on-one Black Issues Forum talks with Bennett President Dr. Phyllis Worthy Dawkins about how this came to be and her vision for what's to come. Next.
This program was funded in part by a grant from the North Carolina Local News Lab Fund, which is administered by the North Carolina Community Foundation.
Quality public television is made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
Hello everyone, I'm Deborah Holt Noel for Black Issues Forum. We are in Greensboro on the campus of Bennett College, where many are working hard to make sure that this HBCU remains standing strong for many years to come. In a moment, we will sit with the 18th president of Bennett College to gain further insight into why the future of this school is at stake. But first, a little background about this unique college in the Triad and the Stand with Bennett campaign.
People say all the time that it takes a village to raise a child. There's a saying that says, if you educate a young man, you have educated a young man. If you educate a young lady, you have educated a nation.
Who knew I would be the little black girl to go study in China or even study in Europe? I didn't think anything like this would happen for me, but I'm thankful for Bennett and all that it has done for me.
Spending this time here, I've grown more, I've become more mature, I carry myself differently, I even dress differently, and I really think that that is because of Bennett.
It's only 2 HBCU schools that are all women's colleges, and it would be really sad to see that go.
Bennett College was founded in 1873, and it became a women's only institution in 1926, and it's the first HBCU, all-women's institution. We have experienced 146 years of success. Bennett College is just known for producing women leaders. We ground them in global citizenship, entrepreneurship, innovation, and communication. And of course, our history is rich in social justice.
When time came to stand up for integration in Greensboro, students and faculty from Bennett College could and did participate and were able to help make a difference in the city.
I am facing the loss of accreditation, membership in our accrediting association known as SACS. Right now, we are facing a challenge of raising $5 million by February 1st. That's our challenge, to continue the 146-year-old history of Bennett College.
No one really needs to question the heritage of Bennett, the influence and the impact this institution has had. It is disappointing that sometimes small private colleges have to cross this path. And this is not unique to Bennett. Across the country, we've seen a number of colleges who have crossed this path. But it should never be discouraging. Bennett has this strength of spirit about it.
We now are beginning to fully celebrate the importance of these remarkably distinct institutions for what they do individually, but collectively their impact on this community is absolutely profound. And Bennett College is a part of that growing dependence on institutions of higher education in this region to continue to uplift the competitiveness of this community.
Bennett is that kind of place that gives you a sense of belonging, a sense that you can go as far as your dreams will take you.
I probably represent a number of young African-American women who did not have a dream to go to college, did not know that going to college was a possibility. Bennett College offered a scholarship, an academic scholarship, for me to be able to attend. And that was the beginning of my dreams. I had an idea that I would like to be a registered nurse. And I remember one of my professors there, Dr. Nanette Smith, and from the first day that I met her, she called me Dr. Fryer. I never had a goal of becoming a doctor. She told me to apply for an internship at Howard University. I applied to that internship, and upon completing that internship, I was awarded a 5-year fellowship to obtain my PhD in pharmacology, which I was able to go on and obtain. So Dr. Smith, in calling me Dr. Fryer every day, created this self-fulfilling prophecy. She provided me and other students with a dream of becoming a PhD. And here I sit today, having obtained not only a bachelor's in biology, a PhD in pharmacology, as well as a bachelor's in nursing. Bennett not only is a dream starter for so many young ladies, but if you do have a dream, Bennett will allow your dream to flourish.
For those young women and those young women of color who for various reasons really need a different environment, the very special Bennett environment or Spelman, this is still very much a critical part of the myriad of institutions in this country. One of the great strengths, in my opinion, of the American system of higher education, still the best of the world, is choice and diversity. Not just diversity of the student bodies, but the diversity of the institutions. And we see that very clearly here in Greensboro.
Bennett women learn who they are, and they're empowered to become change agents in society.
Good morning. My name is Shawnee McMichael. I am a proud graduating senior. Remember to put your all into everything you do. Yes, hard work requires a lot of you. Without the sisterly love from the entire graduating class of 2018, I would have never found my identity as an African American woman in this world.
But I think that the more people know that there's support, if they write a letter, send an email, and say, I support you, it makes a difference. Positive energy begets positive energy, and we need all the positive we can get right now.
Where the B at? Where the E at? Where the N-N-E-T-T at? Do the Bennett clap. Do the Bennett clap. Where the B at? Where the E at? Where the N-N-E-T-T at? Do the Bennett clap. Do the Bennett clap.
Dr. Dawkins, thank you so much for sitting down with us. The Stand with Bennett campaign must have special personal meaning to you, particularly given your long history with HBCUs and also perhaps your connection with many alumni who may have come as first-time college goers. Talk a little bit about those connections.
I started my journey with HBCUs right after high school, product of a person that went to a segregated high school, and it was later integrated. So from South French Board High School to Asheville High, where I ended up graduating. And so that experience alone at Asheville High set the tone for me to consider a historically black college to attend. During my high school years, I was on the college track. Very few of us were on that track. When you go from a segregated to an integrated setting, sometimes they separate you according to educational tracks. So people were segregated either into the vocational track or to the college preparatory track. So fortunately, I was in the college preparatory track, but what that meant was that many of my classes, I was the only black student in the class. And so being the only black in several of my classes with no one talking to me or engaging me in the learning environment, I was anxious to move to a setting where there were many other people that looked like me pursuing a higher education degree. And so that set the tone, but I learned in those segregated classes, those classes set a vision. I knew I wanted to go to college. I heard the conversations, but just imagine being in a high school where no one talked to you. People talked around you, but I listened. And from that, I started my track, and my first HBCU was Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a Golden Bull, proud to be a Golden Bull. And then after I graduated, I went on to the University of Michigan. And my first job after graduating from the University of Michigan, I went to South Carolina State University in Orangeburg, South Carolina, age 22. And it was back in the 70s, and that started my journey. So, and then I went to Ohio State University, competing schools, Michigan and Ohio State. So I had the benefit of attending both. And after I graduated from the Ohio State University, I went to came back to my alma mater, Johnson C. Smith, where I spent 28 years. I left there and went to Dillard for 4, went to Cheney for 2.5, and here I am now at Bennett College. So my entire career has been at HBCUs.
And your official tenure as the president of Bennett College began the summer of 2017, but the financial difficulties here predate your arrival. Walk us through what brought about this campaign and the urgency of raising this $5 million, beginning, say, in 2011 when Bennett College was placed on probation by the accrediting agency for financial instability.
Right. As you said, when I arrived, I was the provost. I walked into this, I knew we had a financial problem. I knew we had a sanction from SACS, but I thought it was doable. So in my first semester as provost, I cut 11 degree programs, 11 faculty, knew that we had to do something drastic and we needed to move fast. And then I moved right into an interim presidency from 2016 to 2017 and became the permanent president in 2017. But the problems at Bennett started even long before I arrived. We've gone through this up and down stability for over 11 years. So it goes back to 2008 with the economic downturn, with the economic crisis at that time, and then followed by the change in Parent Plus loans in 2010, around 2010, 2011, which impact a lot of students across all HBCUs in the country, extending the time in terms of qualifying for a loan, the credit history, from 2 years to 5 years. So that impacted a lot of HBCUs. So all HBCUs experienced, I would say the majority, experienced a decrease in enrollment. And most of our institutions are enrollment driven. So that impacted the ability of students to attend college or to complete a 4-year degree.
And one might think that the recent action of SACS, dropping Bennett from membership, would be an indication that there might be issues with governance, leadership, admissions, enrollment, academic programs. And yet you were cited, Bennett was cited, in 1 out of 90 areas.
That's right. There are about 90 to 95 standards that we have to follow and be in compliance with. Bennett was cited on only 1. We have no problems with the quality of our academic programs, the quality of the student body, the quality of the faculty, with the leadership or the leadership team. We only have 1 problem. We need additional financial resources to support our appeal. We were removed from membership. They cited a lack of financial resources. And on February 1st, which is tomorrow, Friday, February 1st, we have to raise $5 million to increase our cash reserve to support our appeal. Our appeal, the brief to support our appeal, is due February 4th. That's the reason behind February 1st. And then we go before the SACS board on February 18th to defend the appeal. In the meantime, we are accredited, and we will remain accredited.
And also in the meantime, a number of major gifts, 2 significant gifts have come in, one from Z. Smith Reynolds and one from Papa John's Foundation. Talk about those 2 gifts. And
it was a good day. It was a good day. I can tell you exactly where I was when I received the news. I was trying to get my car inspected And so I was at a dealership getting my car inspected. I had to, so Steve Ritchie called me on the phone, and I had to find a place. So I went into the restroom and took the call, and learned that we were the first recipient of the foundation's grant award. And that we were going to be given $500,000 and that we would benefit in other ways. They have a new vision for the company, stressing diversity, equity, and inclusion in alignment with the mission of Bennett College, where we are stressing those same concepts of inclusion. They are going to come here probably next month or so and to look at, take a tour of our campus, talk to us about our academic programs, and possibly provide additional support. So that was in the morning. All right, and then in the afternoon, we had a press conference announcing the Z. Smith Reynolds Foundation grant. Mo Green came by and delivered a check, and we actually got the check yesterday. So we have the funds.
I am grateful to have this opportunity to stand before you today and announce that the trustees of the Z. Smith Reynolds Foundation voted to give Bennett College a gift of $500,000 to support its fundraising efforts as it seeks to work to raise a total of $5 million by early February of this year.
It isn't often where foundations move quickly when it comes to certain asks. When talking to Mo Green at our first presentation, it's always, well, we'll see what we can do. I have to go through my board. We have to have some conversations. In addition to that, we're not asking for a gift to support a program. We're asking to give unrestricted dollars, which is, that's huge to just say, we need unrestricted money. We're very thankful that Mo really was a champion in this cause because he was able to communicate to his board and his stakeholders that this is a worthy cause.
I think it's what people say, if one will be the first, then others will come. And Z. Smith Reynolds is the right first. People know the history of Z. Smith Reynolds and how it invests in North Carolina. And it cares about the quality of life for people. It cares about lifting up the bottom so that everybody can rise at the same time. But I chose Bennett. My mother chose Bennett because it knew that Bennett understood who I was and who I wanted to be. And Bennett would make those opportunities available. I was not a number. And at larger universities, a lot of time, our women are numbers. They're numbers. And people don't see their value. They don't see their uniqueness. So Bennett offers that for our young women.
So the Z. Smith Reynolds Foundation has been in place for 80 plus years and has supported many, many things in North Carolina. It is a foundation that has in its organizing documents that it's to accomplish charitable works on the behalf of North Carolina. And so it has the position, if you will, of being a foundation that stands ready to support improving the lives of all North Carolinians.
For Papa John's, it was serendipitous because Dr. Dawkins was on a radio station, and there was a pastor down in Atlanta, Georgia, that took up a collection, and there was a video, and they were talking about the YouTube video on the radio. Papa John's representative was driving in their car and heard it, and next thing you know, I'm getting a call from the producer of the radio show and the PR person for Papa John's Foundation. And on that call, he said he wanted to give us $500,000. And not just that, he wants to build a relationship with the institution.
So Dr. Dawkins, once you clear this financial hurdle, what is the message you would love to send to viewers and to others about how Bennett intends to transform itself, to distinguish itself among competitive colleges into the future?
Well, Bennett will always keep as its niche the education of women, okay? African American women, women of color. And to that extent, we will continue to develop women as leaders. But we will ground this in a different model. We plan to re-engineer Bennett College. The Board of Trustees recently voted and have selected a new committee that will reimagine Bennett We will look at our business model. We'll look at the type of majors that we offer. We'll look at opportunities to grow the endowment, as well as seek more scholarship dollars to help stabilize the institution. We will look at an enrollment management plan. We will continue to look at cost containments according to the number of students that we serve, and make sure that we're offering the right size faculty and staff to support that group. So there are a number of initiatives into the future for Bennett so that we're never here in this position again.
With the many donations that have come in, you have many new first-time donors. What are your plans to try to retain those new supporters?
Good question. I just told the staff, make sure we have good addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, so we have them in our database forever. And hopefully they will be annual donors. So this experience has provided an opportunity for us to increase our donor base. With this experience, it's probably providing an opportunity for us to partner with different people across the U.S. Today, I received 2 calls from presidents across the nation, one in California, one on the east side, about how we can partner to share programs, do online courses. So there are so many opportunities beyond this February 1st deadline that we can engage in to strengthen the position of Bennett College.
Your alumni giving is strong.
It's strong. In the top 3 among the 101 HBCUs, the percent between 30 and 40% in any given year. So we are proud of our alumni giving. And when you compare it to other historically black colleges and universities, the annual giving is around 10 to 20% they actually give. So we way above the base. And we've been in this position for a number of years. The only problem with giving at historically black colleges is that we don't have a lot of wealth, generation wealth. And so many of us are first-time graduates of our institutions and first-time in a good job. But we still don't have generation wealth. So not only are we giving to our HBCUs, we also have to set aside funds to give to our family and friends.
And so this certainly contributes to understanding why a reliance on solely alumni giving is not where HBCUs can rest.
But I would say to that, this experience is, I think, awakening the HBCU community. All the funds that we're receiving lately really been given by grassroots groups. That's why it really touches my heart to see so many people from the community dropping off checks, delivering and supporting a historical black institution, a college for women. Really supporting HBCUs in general, supporting women colleges. So it warms my heart to get that $50 check as well as that $50,000 check, because people are learning to give back.
And one of the focuses, as I understand it, of Bennett College is to create global citizens of your students. How much will that remain a focus, and how important is that to creating competitive students, for the 21st century?
Yeah, there has always been a niche of Bennett College to produce global citizens. That's one of our foci areas. We have a history of sending students abroad. We have students in Rwanda. We have students in China this year. I took a group of students to Seoul, South Korea. I took a group of students to Cape Town, to Johannesburg, to Colombia, South America. That's what we do. We provide a global experience for our students, so that will remain a niche of the institution.
One of the questions I wanted to ask also is, as you consider a message for other small private colleges who may be facing this situation themselves, what would your advice be to them?
I would say make quick adjustments in your business model. When your business model changes, take the time to make the adjustment I was talking to a college president last night. I'm getting a lot of good advice from presidents across the nation. But sometimes at HBCU, we care so much about the people that work at our institutions that we don't make adjustments right away because we care about the staff and the faculty. We have to also care about the institution and the survival of the institution. So making quick adjustments in your business model, readjusting, re-envision, even though we have 5-year strategic plans, which are standard for higher education, we don't have to wait until the end of the 5-year strategic plan to make adjustments. So on an annual basis, we need to make adjustments.
We recorded our interview with President Dawkins the afternoon of January 31st. On Friday, February 1st, Dr. Nito Cubain of High Point University announced a special challenge gift of up to $1 million to help Bennett meet their goal by Monday, February 3rd. Best wishes, Dr. Dawkins and Bells, and stand strong. For Black Issues Forum, I'm Deborah Holt Noel. Thank you for joining us.
Quality public television is made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
This program was funded in part by a grant from the North Carolina Local News Lab Fund, which is administered by the North Carolina Community Foundation.